Early season's greetings, NBA fans. I'm Ernie Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Got Shaquille O'Neal here. Got Kenny the Jet Smith here for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Chicago Bulls up against the Detroit Pistons. Last game for Detroit, they picked up the W against Utah. That game was a real shootout. They'd like to keep their scoring up, but get a few more stops, too. Hey, we'll be keeping an eye on Andre Drummond tonight. 9th overall pick back in 2012 out of UConn. Shaq, he's still a very young big with a lot of room to grow.
He's an incredible offensive and defensive rebounder, Ernie. One of the hardest box-out assignments in the league since Dennis Rodman.
You know what, though? Last year he started taking some shots outside of the paint, which was surprising but good. Opened up his game a little bit. But
that'll wrap it up for now. Let's go courtside, and we'll see you later.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. The Detroit Pistons preparing to defend home court in this Eastern Conference battle. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season. This team matched up so well during the regular season last year, splitting their 4 games. This should be a terrific battle.
Yeah, 2 conference rivals. I mean, they'll play each other a total of 4 times this season.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity here, guys, to get on each other's bad side. I mean, if they weren't off.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Here is Tolliver, defended by Gibson. Clock at 4. Jackson drives in, and the rebound goes to Lopez.
And Dwayne Wade, as we know, one of the best in the business at blocking shots from that off-guard position. Hard to think of a guard who has had as many swats as Dwayne Wade in the past couple decades. One of the best ever.
And he gets it to go.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
We play just over a minute here in the first. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game. Greg, you're talking about Wade on the blocks. Last season, he climbed up to 6th all-time in blocks, Clark, by an NBA guard.
Amazing. Actually has the most blocks of any player who is his height or shorter in NBA history. Even with his explosiveness waning, his timing and savvy allow him to still be effective blocking shots.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. A bit ago, Stan Van Gundy and I were able to chat. We talked about their defensive game plan, and he said, for Dwayne Wade, you've got to make him a jump shooter and not fight for his pump fakes. When you do that, it's a foul or he's going to go right by you for the dunk. Kevin, Wade known for that deadly shot fake. We'll see if they can stay disciplined.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Harris misses. For the Detroit Pistons, they won their last contest, that game against the Utah Jazz.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have.
Jackson dishes to Tolliver. Gibson with the steal. Down low. And then Wade slams it in.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
It's Jackson with the drive. Here's Drummond. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not. But sure enough, they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Bulls.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
And Butler, here we go, and the shot is good.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
Jackson against Rondo. Out left to the wing. Drummond passes to Harris. Shoots from the elbow. Again, the miss by the Pistons. Detroit had a hard time making shots consistently last season. Clark, not a good shooting team from the floor. And, of course, that's in this league, it's going to kill you.
Yeah, it really will. I mean, at one point last year, Kevin, 3 of their 5 starters were in the bottom 10 in terms of players' field goal percentage. I mean, hard to win any game that way.
Rocket 2. Shoots. Rondo. No good. Pistons trail by 6. Jackson kicks to Caldwell Pope. The 19-footer is on the money. Caldwell Pope's got his first basket of the night.
And the Pistons would finish in the bottom 3 in terms of team shooting last year. But for the most part, their shooting did improve over the course of the season.
Butler dishes to Gibson. The shot's good on the assist by Butler.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
And, you know, for the Pistons, they really had nowhere to go but up. I mean, shooting under 43% as a team is more than worrisome. I mean, it's something they'll have to drastically improve going forward.
Yeah, quick trigger. And from that range, if he senses the defenders have backed off, forget about it.
And for Tobias Harris, a resurgence of sorts last season, Clark, especially from behind the arc, where he shot a career high.
55% from 3 the year before, Kevin. So, yeah, monster improvement in accuracy from long range.
Morris is checked in for Detroit. Mirotic is checked in for Chicago. Michael Carter-Williams comes in for Rajon Rondo. Carter-Williams, the pass to Butler. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. And that is good. 8 points for Dwayne Wade.
And getting back to Harris, there's just so much to like about his game. He lives in the gym, has a tremendous feel for the game, and he knows how to maximize his production within those athletic limitations. And the defense just gets caught standing around that time and giving up the second chance opportunity.
You know, that just can't happen. They need much more effort than that on the glass.
Harris against Butler. He dents the rim with a 2-handed slam. Wow.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the 2-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
You know, the thing about Harris is he's a combo forward, extremely versatile. At 6'8", he struggles with size against the better power forward, and he lacks the athleticism of the better small forward. So to get the most out of him, you have to put him in the right matchups.
And that one's good. Drummond. Wade with it. He picked up 24 points in their last one against the Nets in Brooklyn. He kicks to Butler. Dishes it to Lopez. Back to Butler. 6 to shoot. With the fadeaway. They get it back.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Morris kicks to Jackson. Here's Drummond. Cannot hit. And in Chicago the other way. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
And most impressive when you do it on the road like that. They just kept coming at him wave after wave, and they really kept the crowd on mute in that one.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Nikola Mirotic, drafted as a late first-rounder, Clark, back in 2011. The Spanish star finally made his rookie debut in the NBA last season, and it was worth the wait.
It sure was, Kevin. I mean, once he started to get consistent PT, I mean, he was remarkable. Can run like the wind for a big guy, not that strong, but more aggressive than you'd think.
Chicago leading by 5. Wade's got 3 assists tonight. For Detroit, they've gone 7 of 15 from the field to this point. Kicks it to Baines. Got a piece of it. Pass to McDermott. Mirotic dishes to Carter Williams. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Morris. That led the NBA in block shots last year. Number 5, the Bulls.
A big part of their defense really revolved around their ability to block shots at the rim. It's so valuable to have that kind of backline protection. Allows you to be aggressive on the perimeter.
At the top of the key, McDermott.
And despite that miss, a strong start for them offensively.
Yeah, they're scoring with confidence, Greg, making them count in the early going here.
Jackson against Carter Williams. Morris. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3. The Bulls leading by 6. Wade up top. He's guarded by Meeks. And then Wade slams it in.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says thank you very much and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
And stolen by Mirotic. Now McDermott takes a 3 and released it in time, but it's off the mark. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Bulls out front. They're up by 8. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And guys, what's your take on the Bulls so far?
Really active hands early on here as they're able to acquire several steals.
Well, they've really been aggressive guys on defense, and it's paid off, so why stop? Keep it up.
The Bulls leading by 8. Anthony Tolliver out there with Johnson. Then it's Jody Meeks. Then it's Aaron Baines. And it's Jackson in at the 1 spot. They're the group Detroit will start the second with. Nice shot by McDermott.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been 3-pointers.
And clearly it's about how poorly the defense has played. They've got to close out faster.
Here's Baines. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety. A beautiful pass by Rondo. That's excellent teamwork. Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his M.O.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 30 years, he has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach. And his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
And we played through the first minute here in the second. Butler passes to Lopez. Back to Butler. He feeds it to Lopez. And stolen by Drummond.
Well, despite that possession, something that I've liked is they've been under control while getting out in this league. They've kept those turnovers down. That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we can see right there why he does.
McDermott kicks to Lopez. We're closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. Can't cash in from close range. Harris outside. Shoots from 14. And it's off the back rim. No good. Chicago leading by 7. Rondo kicks to Lopez. And again, Chicago. No good. For Detroit, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Now, here's Meeks. He's covered by Rondo. Harris outside. They get it again. And that one's good. Drummond. Drummond's got his second bucket of the night.
Very nice pickup of the offensive rebound. And once he gets his hands on it, you know it's going back up and back in.
And it's sent back by Drummond. Meeks with it. Working on Gibson. Pass to McDermott. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Well, we've got a moment to look back at last year's Bulls. 3rd in rebounding, 3rd in three-point shooting. They also showed up in the top 5 in opponent field goal percentage. A very improved defensive team.
Yeah, and going back to their rebounding, very few teams could outmuscle them inside. The size and toughness to scrap for every carom off the backboard.
The first one falls.
And guys, what a strange rookie campaign for Dougie McBuckets. I mean, he entered the draft as a polished sharpshooter. The Bulls traded up in the first round to get him, and he ended up playing 9 minutes a game over the course of last season.
Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Jody Meeks. That'll go on McDermott. That's his first foul. How about 3 minutes gone in this second quarter of basketball? Here's Tolliver. Solid play on the low block, and that one's good.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping, but I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx, but I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
You know, for Drummond last season, his numbers were relatively the same. The expectations placed on him were so hard for him to live up to. Maybe now those will be tempered a bit, and he'll play better.
And another thought on Drummond, a lot more was expected of him last year, and he saw more attention. Even though his numbers were close to the same, I really felt his impact on the floor was not.
The 11-footer, and it's sent back by Lopez. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
And Drummond with another miss. The Bulls leading by 8. And he was fouled for a three-point play.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
Morris is checked in for Anthony Tolliver. Chicago also making some changes. Mirotic is checked in for Lopez. Wade comes in for Doug McDermott. And it's Carter Williams in for Rajon Rondo. Caldwell Pope kicks to Drummond. To the middle. And Mirotic sends it back. Down low. Butler dishes to Wade. Here's Mirotic. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Mirotic has got 5 points so far. Pistons trail by 13. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something. You're right.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
Ball's knocked loose, and that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. Detroit making a switch. Jackson as well. Portis, he's checked in for Taj Gibson. Got a piece of it, and stolen by Mirotic. Here's Wade. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And they seem to have gotten something out of almost every possession. Their defense has been just as good, just a tremendous performance all the way around.
Yeah, and they're doing it in hostile territory, too. I mean, don't forget about that part of it, which makes it even more impressive.
Butler with the steal. And here we go again. The Bulls in transition. Up the court they go.
And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
Johnson, he's checked in for Detroit. Pistons trail by 19. Jackson passes to Bullock, and the foul on Dwayne Wade. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond.
Aaron Baines.
It's stolen by Carter Williams. Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. Wade with the ball. That's good. 16 points for Jimmy Butler.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
Jackson drives in, tries to snap the cold streak. Bullock, good.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. He's not the guy you want to leave open on the perimeter. You've got to stay attached to him.
Here's Wade. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. Dwayne Wade continues, Clark, to change his game as he gets older. I admire the way guys can do that. Their head says one thing, but their body kind of tells them another.
And you have to give in to your body as you age, that's for sure. Used to attack the rim all the time. Now it's mid-range jumper heavy.
And for Wade and his change in style, I really felt it was a necessity. Guys his age can't continue to hit the floor as often as he's used to and expect to make it all the way through the season.
It's stolen by Carter Williams. Here's Butler, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
And they're not taking their foot off the pedal. They just keep adding to their lead.
Well, it's never a good idea to back off and ease up, and it doesn't look like that thought's even crossed their mind. I love it. And, you know, in general, back to Wade now. All the greats evolve and add to their games as their careers move forward. The best way to stay relevant in the NBA is by adding to your game and honing your skill. Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Bullock, good.
He's not going to miss many of those, if any. Not when he's got that much room.
The Bulls leading by 18. Carter Williams kicks to Butler. .107 left in the second quarter. The shot by Carter Williams, nobody around. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Jackson dishes to Baines. Back. Johnson, wide open, he fires. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. Chicago's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Carter Williams, the pass to Butler. And taken away by Johnson. And there's a foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That's his first foul. And the Pistons making a change here. Meeks is checked in. Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago. The feed to Meeks. Fires for three. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Meeks got 5 points in the quarter. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. The drive by Wade, and he makes good on the layup.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Pistons trail by 15. Johnson in the corner. He dishes it to Baines. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here. It's his first trip to the line.
And looking back last season, how about 87% from the line? So that's obviously nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, those were fine numbers he posted at the line. It was hard to find fault with anything he did from the stripe. Kevin, he's definitely making his presence felt here in the first half. He's been very effective so far.
Here's Jackson, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Bulls lead by 16. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Hi, Kevin. I'm here with Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne, what about the way the offense unfolded allowed you guys to get things going?
We just gave each other some space. The court was open a little bit. I think Coach did a great job on making some adjustments. We was all being attacked. Thank
you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
All right, Doris, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow here on 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We're going to break down the first half action for you. Dwayne Wade wasted no time getting hot. He had 21 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
They have run their offense straight out of a coach's textbook tonight. Both ball and player movement have been excellent. And the result of all that movement, almost all high-quality shots they're generating. It's pretty to watch. Very good fundamental basketball.
Check. What'd you think about the Pistons?
Well, when you look at the opponent field goal percentage, that tells the whole story. They gave up way too many good looks. When they come out of the break, they got to play way tougher, Ernie. Get those hands up. Get in your opponent's face. Do something.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Dwayne Wade really has his fingerprints all over this one.
He had created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
So for Chicago right now, they've got Jimmy Butler, D-Wade out there with Rajon Rondo, then it's Taj Gibson, and it's Lopez in at the center position.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
That is good. 6 points here for Drummond.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
And slam dunk by Butler.
His ball distribution tonight just as good as it gets.
Yeah, it sure has been. I mean, all you have to do is look at the numbers. There's no lying in those totals.
Pistons trail by 19. Jackson kicks to Harris. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got his 7th assist in the game. Well, Chicago has gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Butler from outside. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 8 rebounds in this game. Caldwell Pope dishes to Jackson. And Gibson sends it back. Up the floor. Stolen by Jackson. They get a hand on it. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. The dish now to Tolliver. Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope. Just 5 to shoot. Chicago grabs the miss. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Harris against Butler. Baseline J on the way. No good from Gibson.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
In the corner, it's Harris. All sorts of time. They get it back.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
And he gets it to go. 23 points for Jimmy Butler.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feeling. Yeah, can't be pleased with all these easy looks they continue to give up there in the paint.
No, I'm sure he's not, Greg. I mean, their defense is showing a lot of holes, especially down low. That's unacceptable.
So for the Bulls, Doug McDermott comes in for Butler, and it's Carter Williams in for Rajon Rondo. There's a screen. Tolliver the pass to Harris. Feeds it to Tolliver. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
Incredible body control right there. Don't know how he was able to get that one to go, but it sure was a thing of beauty to watch.
The drive by Wade. McDermott, no one around him. The shot's good on the assist by Wade. And it's 7 points for Doug McDermott. Here's Jackson, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Wade kicks to Lopez. McDermott, the open look. Again, Chicago.
And Robin Lopez, a guy never shy about doing the grunt work. But his offense, I believe, really underrated. Just a solid finisher at the rim. Also a great offensive rebounder.
Jackson kicks to Caldwell Pope. Soft touch off the glass. Caldwell Pope's got 6 points.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Lopez. There's the killer two-handed slam.
Make it 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was ultra safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And guys, as he should be. Remove all doubt on that attack.
And speaking of Lopez's offensive games, Clark, he's got some skill.
Yeah, a little push hook shot in the low post, and if you leave him open 15 to 16 feet, he can knock that down too.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And guys, when you go to look for holes in the game of Tobias Harris, there really aren't any. One of the hardest workers in our league. If he has any weakness at all, it's his average size speed combo, which most likely will keep him from becoming the perennial all-star type.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Morris is checked in for Tolliver. Reggie Bullock comes in for Tobias Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Caldwell Pope. Lopez kicks to Mirotic and slammed in for 2.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
On the topic of Tobias Harris, you love that he can contribute in every category of play. He's a solid face-up shooter. Clark is getting better with his back to the basket. You can see movement forward all the time.
I love what this young man has shown thus far. You mentioned those things he does. He'll also rebound for you, get loose balls. He does the little things, understands what it takes to win. The consummate pro and team player.
Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Lopez has got 4 points now in the quarter. Pistons trail by 17. Drummond sets the screen for Jackson. And there's the pass to Drummond. And he comes off the screen and slams it through.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam. You're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
Lopez, no luck.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys. But as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
So a moment now to see the story on Michael Carter-Williams. Good season for him last year. 11th in assists, and he ended up in the top 15 in steals as well. Some of the quickest hands in the league.
He was a consummate playmaker last season, too. Completely unselfish, always has his head up, looking for the open guy. And Marcus Morris is nicknamed Mook. He has a twin brother, older by 7 minutes, named Markeith. Both brothers played at Kansas, drafted 13th and 14th in the same year. Eventually played for the same pro team. That is joined at the hip.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. And it's Johnson in for Reggie Bullock. It's Jackson with the drive, and the layup's good off the glass. Jackson's got 4 points in the quarter. And looking at the Morris brothers' careers through last season, the one area they haven't been joined at the hip in is in performance. Markeith has shown steady improvement over his first 4 years. Marcus Morris has had a very up and down start to his career.
And, you know, Kevin, Marcus has talent. He has versatility. He just hasn't found his role. It's time for him to step out of his brother's shadow and really establish who he is as a player.
Wade kicks to Miritich. It's stolen by Morris. Lays it in off the breakaway. Morris has got his third basket of the night right there.
They're not as aggressive from the outside here, but maybe they should think about stretching the defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
Yeah, it's such a sweet three-point stroke there, and it can really open things up inside because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter.
Jackson against Carter Williams. 11 feet away, and it will go, and the Bulls' lead is cut to just 11 on the basket from Baines. Chicago's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. And that one is stuffed right through.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Detroit's gone 6 of 8 on three-pointers in the game, an outstanding 75% mark. Jackson dishes to Morris. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Morris has got 10 points. Shot and game clock separated by 5. They set the screen. Wade misses.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
Meeks inside the three-point line. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. Up the floor. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
And he beats the buzzer to end the quarter.
Terrific shot there. I mean, he was calm, he was poised, didn't rush it at all. You got to tip your hat to him. That was well done.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Bulls out front. They lead by 13. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Pistons trail by 13. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. On the court for the Pistons, the big men, Tolliver and Drummond. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. And it's Harris in at the small forward position. Reggie Jackson had made some noise about wanting a big contract to be moved last year. Ultimately, he was traded to Detroit.
Yep, Kevin traded from the Thunder to the Pistons, and it actually happened on deadline day.
And it's Butler missing. And for the Pistons, they're shooting it very well tonight, around 57%. Caldwell Pope had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. The Bulls leading by 11. And there's a foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That'll be his second foul of the game. Detroit with the ball. Passes to Tolliver. Drummond with a screen on Gibson. Here is Tolliver, defended by Gibson. Here's Jackson. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. And it's 8 points for Reggie Jackson.
He didn't have a single point in the first half. Bagel, 0 points, nada. But he's starting to get into the groove here in the second.
The kick outside to Butler. And stolen by Drummond. And now the Pistons fast break. And it will go, and the Bulls lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from Harris.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And stolen by Drummond. It's 2-on-1. And Miritich sends it back. Dishes it to Butler. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Wade is checked in for Chicago. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Here's Jackson. to the inside. Tolliver, and it's sent back by Lopez. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. Chicago with the ball. Looking to get on the board here in the fourth still. Rondo passes to Butler. From deep three-point range, Detroit with the rebound. Drummond's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. And Wade sends it back. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wade. Now a timeout called by Detroit. And during this timeout, I'm sure they'll be hydrating themselves with Gatorade. All the effort out there on the floor. And these timeouts can be such a huge factor in getting a short rest and recharging the battery.
And the Pistons were a better team last season than they were in 2014. I mean, they still ended up bottom in the Central Division, but most of it was because of how strong the Central really was last season.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He actually lit into them pretty heavily, saying, "We're being way too soft on the inside. I'd better start to see some toughness and more shots being challenged. No more easy baskets." Pretty strong words, guys.
And here they go. Jackson misses. Well, Greg, as you said, the Pistons were last in the Central Division last year. They had finished fourth each of the last 4 years before that, Clark.
And, you know, the Pistons actually had more wins last year coming in last than they did in any of the 4 seasons they finished fourth. It just shows you how tough and improved the Central Division was last year.
The teardrop falls in. Jackson's got 10 points here in the second half.
And they have gotten themselves back into this game just in the nick of time. If that run had come any later, it would have been Katie bar the door.
But, Greg, they can't relax yet. I mean, they've still got plenty of work to do here.
Butler with the ball, picked up by Harris. Shot clock at 5. Shoots it up. Butler missing again.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Kicks to Harris. The 3. The rebound by Gibson. The Bulls leading by 5. Pass to Butler. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one on Harris.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions and finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
Chicago leading. Outside Rondo, and stolen by Drummond. Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. Some solid defense from Butler.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Three-pointer. The basket good off the assist from Wade. And that's now 30 points for Jimmy Butler.
Just carrying the load right now offensively, guys. He is not wasting any chances.
From where I sit, Greg, it's a simple deduction. If they want things to be easy on themselves here late, make sure he has the ball.
Launches it. And with that, the Chicago lead is cut back down to 5 as they get the points there from Jackson.
He's definitely turned things around in this game. I mean, he was more of a background player in the first half. He's jumped center stage now.
And stolen by Drummond. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. And he gets it to go. And that's 17 points for Tobias Harris. The Bulls leading by 3. Outside Rondo. From the top of the key, and good, he nails it.
And the deeper we get into this game, it seems like the more the offenses are in rhythm.
Without question, I mean, both of these teams are firing on full broadband bandwidth. I mean, full throttle ahead.
And the Bulls making a change here. Carter Williams is checked in. They double him with Butler. Back to Harris. No one near him. And goaltending is going to be the call. So they get the basket there anyway.
Big shot. As soon as he got an opening, boy, did he let it fly.
Chicago's gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%. 7 of 13 on threes. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. And Butler, here we go. The shot, no good. And Detroit the other way now. Stolen by Wade. Pushing it up. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. And it's Wade penetrating. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Nice numbers from D. Wade. He has 23 points and 16 assists. He's had great awareness out there exploiting those passing lanes and coming up with steals.
And Clark, it's as if he's been a step ahead of everyone else out there today.
And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Bulls.
And you really can't help but notice all the points they've continued to get off turnovers.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Jackson kicks to Harris. He feeds it to Jackson. To the paint. Here's Caldwell Pope. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
So a perfect half at the free throw line for him. That'll help their comeback effort for real.
And Clark, those free throws need to continue if they're going to get back in this game.
And Caldwell Pope drops them both.
And that makes it a 1-possession game, guys. Got to be the biggest free throws of the game thus far.
Pick off in midair. And now the Pistons fast break. And that one's good.
We could have been looking at a 2-possession game, but that was a huge mistake on the turnover. Now nerves and tightness become a factor.
And it's becoming a battle of will right now. This is as good a game as we could have hoped for.
So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2.
They got to keep fighting their way to the line, guys. This half has been nothing but success for them there.
Yeah, taking full advantage from the charity stripe. They've yet to miss here in the second. And that's how you do it. Free throws can make a huge difference in a tight game.
Here's Lopez. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. And the Bulls lead by 5. You look at Jimmy Butler. He's really been playing well.
He just continues to light them up. They're going to have to find a way to make him work harder for his points.
Jackson against Carter Williams. Outside Jackson. Here's Caldwell Pope. The Pistons rebound. Tolliver dishes to Harris. And that one's good. Harris has got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
Stolen away. And they're pushing it up. And it's good. And it's now only a 1-point Chicago lead.
And really, once he got that steal, just really nothing the defense could do.
That's why turnovers are so costly, because in many cases, they're indefensible once possession changes hands. Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Caldwell Pope hits the front of the rim and out.
I tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
It's tipped. Now here's Jackson. Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. What a big possession right here.
No doubt about it, guys. The tension is palpable.
Wade kicks to Lopez. Nails it.
Oh, that's the shot of the game.
Well, he was fearless enough to get it up and down, and it paid off for him.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're behind by 3. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. .29 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here's Tolliver. Good! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
And so they foul intentionally. We got 22 seconds left in the fourth. And now they decide to foul intentionally. So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2. Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Big-time free throws there. That could be the difference. It forces them now into a 3-point attempt.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're trailing by 3. There's 21 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Here's what's your take?
And there's still time left, so they don't necessarily have to go for the 3. A quick, easy bucket.
Here for that. I mean, I'm not quite sold on the quick 2. I think they've got to look for a quality 3 to try to tie this thing up based on where the clock is right now.
And Caldwell Pope drops them both. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And you know what, Greg? Who knows? A few misses at the stripe, and they're right there within range. You know, late-game free throws are a lot different than early-game free throws in terms of making.
A 3-pointer would be huge right now.
Boy, a chance to tie it up with the game on the line. This is what we live for. I want to see what happens right here.
And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul. Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game.
Those free throws are the nail in the coffin, guys.
And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
And you know what? His mind's playing tricks on him right now because he's not going to live that one down easily.
And stolen by Drummond. It's tipped. It's stolen by Carter Williams. And so it's Chicago winning this one. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Dwayne, certainly so far in this game, things have really gone well for you. Is this sort of just a carryover from the last game?
Well, yeah, I felt good today. I was in a groove, and I'm going to let the game come to me. So, no question, this was a total team effort, but it's good for me to get 2 games in a row like this.
Dwayne, thank you so much. Guys, a healthy Dwayne is a dangerous Dwayne.
All right, Doris, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. And now we'll head over to the studio with Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Dwayne Wade. He had no problems getting his offense going, making all 5 of his first 5 shots of the night.
Well, Dwayne Wade was at his best tonight, fellas. He's a ferocious competitor when he gets in the zone like that. That intensity on defense, those explosive moves to the rim, Dwayne Wade had it going on tonight.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball, it was going in. You rarely see a performance like this with this crazy high shooting percentage. Wow.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'm Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.